Excellent. If you can just get some shots with the... Okay, let me get this. Yeah. Then you want me to get this part too, or don't worry about it?
I do, and I'm learning about
It's up the stairs, halfway down the stairs. All right, I can see you downstairs then. All right.
Our college here, the first one, survived for 60 years. And then for a reason, because the depression, for other reason, you know, it closed for a short time, and then we joined again, you know, United States in 1937. Until almost 10 years ago, with the United States, he asked us in a polite way to create our own body. And here we are. What you see, that's what we achieved. My point is not only 10 years or 11 years. We have a history here in Canada from back 1876, and that because of the Rosicrucian order from England. Brother, a toast, you know, to the order and to the most worthy, the Supreme Magi. That's not, sorry. Of the Rosicrucian order in England. To the brother.
Yeah.
For the Supreme Magus. Most worthy supreme mayors, Magi. Ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm not going to try and indoctrinate you with a lot of verbiage and all the rest of it. I'm just going to tell you a little story, which is it's about myself. That's for no other reason, but I just use it to serve to illustrate a particular point. Now, my surname, as you probably know, is Paternoster, and it's not something I changed by default. One of the students in the Inner Light wrote in and said, "Is that the guy's real name?" And so we wrote back and said, "Yeah, it is actually. It was the name that my mother and father gave me. So it is actually Paternoster." Though I suppose the Latin for our Father, it really is. It's quite appropriate. Now, it seemed to me, it's on more than one occasion, that there are very few of us who are blessed with the gift of prophecy. There are many of us who are blessed with the gift of hindsight. and with this, it also seemed to me that, in fact, when you look at our languages, very often the smallest word has the greatest meaning and the greatest importance. And I refer here to the little word if. I can't believe that there are none of you who have not said to yourselves, if only I'd chatted that guy up, I'd have had a different husband. If only I'd have said that better, I would have had a better job. And yet, as you get older and you look back, these things actually begin to become unimportant. Now, when I was a kid, I lived and died in church. I was one of these choir boys. You know, you sang Sunday morning, you sang Sunday evening, and you lived your life around church. And my mum and dad used to take me on family holidays. This was a holiday organised by the church, and lots of families went. So they'd take over a boarding school. And I'll mention one or two names because they are quite important. And we went many times to a little place well, it wasn't on the coast, it was on a river estuary, and it was called Burnham. And one of the great things that we did during the fortnight that we were there, we always walked up a fairly steep hill, which was called Brent Knoll, and we also did Breen Down. Now, it doesn't mean anything to you, but it will in a minute. And we also had the customary trip to Glastonbury. Glastonbury, well known to so many as being so important in the Western mystery tradition. Well, in my life in the choir, every August we used to sing the morning and evening services at St Albans Abbey. And there is a power line between St Albans and Glastonbury. It is the great horizontal power line in England. And unbeknown to me, there was I being associated with both aspects of it. Well, I then went to school, and my school was a grammar school founded in the time of Queen Elizabeth I. In fact, I think it was founded in 1645. And it was petitioned by Lord Leicester. And of course, all at this time was this wonderful crucible in England's history, of course, around about, just after then, the time of course, Sir Thomas More. And this period of English history has always been actually very important to me. The next notable thing in my life was that my uncle he suggested I should join Freemasonry. My dad wasn't in Masonry. I didn't know anything about it. It seemed like a good idea, and it was fantastic. But as so many of you will know, there was I, you've done your first degree, your second degree, third. What a letdown. The things that you expected to discover, the great panacea of life, you'd say, sorry mate, they're lost. Well, I was a bit disillusioned, but to be honest, I kept on, and my enthusiasm for Masonry never waned. And over then many, many years, I researched through many, don't ask my wife, many of all these Masonic orders. And I came to the SRIA, and they had a study group. And the next important piece was somebody gave me a sheet of paper. And he said, John, I think you should actually go on this. And it was a little flyer advertising a Kabbalistic week. I hadn't got a clue what Kabbalah was, I have to say. I had no idea at all. And it said that some knowledge would be useful. And so I went to a great bookshop and found this book, which was written, well, I can say this here, and I've said it in mixed company, so